of the puzzle here and there. How's that going for you?
It's going well. It's going well. We've rotated a lot of guys in a lot of spots. So we're working guys in the back end at multiple spots, guys in the front end at multiple spots. So, a lot of that we had planned to do anyway, and probably pick that up with a few more practices now and some, stuff coming off summer where some guys had a chance to get better at some things too. So we feel good about it.
You coached a bunch of really talented linebacker rooms. Athletically, how does this one stack up? I mean, we don't know until they play.
Right, yeah. There's the jury's still out on a lot of things naturally. I think that's a great statement by you, but they've got good size, they've got good speed, and they're smart guys. So that part is certainly encouraging, and they're physical. So usually that's a great combination to what you're trying to get done at that position. So hopefully that continues to trend in a positive direction for us.
Coach Combs mentioned last week that he felt like he had 4 game-ready DBs. How are you feeling about the group as a whole in terms of their progression and development under your system?
Yeah, I think we're getting better and better every day, to be honest. There's a little bit of us still, we talked about it in great detail today, what certain guys do the best for us as well. So we're still trying to figure out, I think, that. Every guy is a little bit different, at that position. So we've just got to continue to develop them in the basics. I think that goes really with every position. But if we can continue to do that, I think we'll come out with a competitive group.
Speaking of the defensive backs, obviously Jordan Robinson was a guy who came in right before fall camp. Talk about how important it was to get him acclimated up to speed and what you've seen from him so far.
Sure. No, he obviously hasn't had as many practices as many other guys, so he is certainly still learning for us. He's obviously got great physical tools, which I feel like we are still in the developmental phase with a lot of that. Like most guys, that are new, he's really working on his communication into things, and that confidence hopefully builds some of that too, and anticipation and the things you need to have success.
What does the transition look like for you as a coach coming out of the fall camp and going into game preparation?
Yeah, well, you would say currently we're still a little bit in fall camp, right? Technically, school starts next week,
right,
and this is still part of what we're doing without classes and things like that going. So, we're still really working on that end of things with the basic stuff. I think we'll really dive into week 1 here in a day or two, but I feel like we're still trying to work on some things that are trying to help us collectively as a team.
Where are you at in your transition to calling the shots, being the number one guy in the room? Is that?
Yeah, no, I think staff-wise we work well together, and that's been a fun part of it to me, with the group as a whole. We've done a lot of things, through the preseason here to obviously help, prepare us as coaches as well collectively. So coach has done a great job with that, and I think, this week still a little bit of that too.
How's the switch to safety been? You were
linebackers. Yeah, it's been fun. I got a great group there, great human beings there with those kids, and man, I'm having a lot of fun with them, and they're really hard workers. They study the game and all the things you'd like to have out of any position, but geez, they're a great group.
So overall, it's essentially a room that was tore down to the studs and started over. You're happy with not only the top end but the depth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're building some of it. With what we have, we obviously got some guys that got really good reps in the spring. Got those guys back, added to it a little bit, but I do feel good about it. Yeah, I do.
What you see out of the D lineman, anyone making a surge here, taking advantage of the opportunity?
Oh, gee, well, I feel like Eric Phillips has had a good camp. Rob Jackson's had a good camp. Kamari Burns, he's been a guy playing a couple different spots and kind of settled in for us a little bit to find his home. There, a couple young guys are getting a ton of valuable reps, and Scott, we've told all the guys from the beginning that we're going to need every one of them. and sometimes irrespective maybe of what they are thinking at this point in time too. So that's why we're really trying to prepare each and every one of them the best we can.
How much of a challenge is it to have this kind of unknown with Dante, that he's doing a lot of what's being asked of him, but he's not back live, and you're not sure when you get him back? And I would guess things look a lot different game plan wise with him than without it.
For sure, yeah, I think that's very true, right? He's been doing most everything in practice, to be honest. He's doing everything on the training end of it as well. Everything that we're preparing for him, being told we will have him back. So we're just working to that point right now and doing what the medical staff are guiding us to do, and he's going to continue to work every day to do that. Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier if you took that orange jersey off tomorrow, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it always is. It always is. Yeah. He wants to as well.
Without spoiling anything, what can the students expect out of the team this year?
Well, hopefully a physical team. I think that number one, and a fundamentally sound team. So that's those are the things we're working the most on. If we can play with great fundamentals and be a super physical group overall and play from start to finish, that's really what we're looking for, in my opinion.
One more for Coach.
Coach, you had some familiarity with offense, having game planned against them last year. What kind of progressions have you seen from that group that have maybe challenged you this off season?
You're talking about with our offense, yeah. Geez, that's I try to sometimes remember yesterday, but you're taking me all the way back to last fall. Obviously the group up front returned, so they're obviously a year better with that core group. Same with the running back, I think, are really guys that I think are talented guys, and we thought a year ago the same, coming in. So, there's a quarterback battle going on and those things right now, which has been exciting to watch, and great competition there, which I think that's what you want at every spot's competition. No, I think those guys have made a lot of progress just going against them every day. Sometimes maybe you don't necessarily see it right in front of you, but as you watch the video and go from day to day, it's a great group of guys, absolutely.